Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's nice to have you guys back. Today I'm going to be talking about Palworld once again. I know some of y'all probably getting sick of it, but it's finally time. I'm going to give my full review on the game and let you guys know what I like, what I dislike about the game, and most of all, is it worth your time to play this game? So if you guys haven't heard yet or haven't seen it yet, check out my video on how the game scratches that itch. The link will be in the bottom. That's one of the aspects why I think the game is great, because it scratches so many itches that gamers are craving for nowadays. So if you want to listen to that, I already made a video on that. I'm going to try to concentrate this video on more of reviewy type of things, like look at the gameplay, mechanics, bugs, and other things. So it's obvious that I really like the game. I think it's fantastic. Of course, there are some negatives here and there that I'll talk about. But right off the bat, if you are a fan of survival games, yes, I would say this is 100% worth your time. Go out and play the game. But for more nuanced gamers who are still skeptical about the game and don't know if it's worth their time, just keep watching and hopefully you find something new that you didn't know about the game from this review. So you walk out like Breath of the Wild style. Bang, big open world, it's beautiful, there's trees to punch, there's rocks to punch, you have pals, you have beautiful chickpeas and freaking lamb balls, but then later in the game you get some crazy shit that I'll get to. But right away, the first impression, the game looks great, it looks beautiful, the graphics look amazing. It's Unreal Engine 4. The pals look actually pretty dope, like I kind of like them. Like, sure, they resemble Pokemon. Check out my other video on Nintendo versus Palworld. But yeah, I love the pals. They're cute. They're fluffy. Like, how can you not like them? Like, look at the little lamb ball. What? I'll die for this thing. Nah, I lied. I butcher these things like all the freaking time. But basically, what I'm saying is the graphics are good. I like the graphics. They are serviceable. They're better than Minecraft? Yeah. Are they realistic like Ark? No. But is it nice vibrant colors and nice scenery to look at? Yeah, I'd say yeah. I would give the graphics a solid like 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. So if you're a fan of like these type of graphics in games, then like you have nothing to worry about on the graphical side of things. So past that, now let's take a look a little bit of gameplay. So in the beginning of the game, you're basically punching trees, punching rocks, right? It's a survival game. I would like to say that it's pretty grindy in the beginning. So that's one of the things I did not like, is that for the first like 4 hours of the game, you're basically not doing much. You're punching trees, like getting rocks, and just like, it's kind of boring, I won't lie. But that's like with every survival game. And you know what? It's worth it. The reason why it's worth it is because it's building this gameplay loop. And so the gameplay loop is catch pals, get stronger, build base, catch more pals, make base automated, and then go out, adventure, explore, expand the world, catch even stronger pals, strengthen your team, automate your base even further, and then you just keep rinse repeating, reaching the next goal of power of pals and power of base, and then you spice in guns, and now you have goals to get guns, pals, automate base, and then you just keep going. That's the loop. Like, you keep going. You want to automate the base more, and the reason why it feels rewarding to also automate your base and stuff is because in the beginning of the game it's a slog. It's a slog because you have to hold F. You have to hold F, and that shit takes forever. You're just sitting there like fucking crafting so long to craft something. It's so annoying. I have to say, like, it is super annoying to craft things just holding F. But then the thing is, you gotta hit the low lows to get the high highs. Because then once you get like an Anubis that has level 4 crafting, and now you can just whip that shit out, and that thing goes like so fast, like it's so fast. It crafts like 10 times your speed. It feels so much better, and that's the gameplay loop, right? It reaches that like level of I started from the bottom, but I just kept playing this loop of getting resources, getting stronger, getting resources, getting stronger, building better base, automation. You just kept playing this loop, and then sooner or later, now you're just like, oh shit, I'm a god. Like, oh my god, like, oh my me. I'm just so OP now. And it feels rewarding because it's kinda cliche, but like it's because where you started. You started with nothing. That's like the point of the game. Like if you don't like survival games, I get it, but like this is the point of a survival game. Is that feeling of like I started with sticks and stones, and now I got a mother freaking rocket launcher and a jet dragon. You know what I mean? It's like that feeling of like it's that rewarding feeling. So I gotta give it to this game of giving you that big dopamine hit of like, wow, like it feels so good now to have like this team of pals that I work so hard for, because it is like hard work. Like it feels like hard work. Like okay, here's an analogy I like to compare to this game. It's like real life. Okay, you work hard, you grind for a goal, and then you might get that promotion. All right, you might be able to save money to get a house. That's amazing. You feel good. Like it feels good, man. It feels just like you got a new base in Palworld, and I can finally make an ore base. It's like the same freaking feeling. Like, like I got a new house. Like, dog, I got a new base that can farm more ore. Like, it feels good, man. It's one of the reasons why I like the game is because the gameplay loop just works. It feels really rewarding to go from nothing to like this sort of god. But the thing is, the grind is fun itself. I wouldn't play this game and grind all the way up to this god level status if the grind wasn't fun itself. And the reason why the grind is so fun is because the mechanics are simple yet satisfying, and the minute to minute gameplay feels nice. The sounds of catching a pal, the music of battle, the flow of battle meshes really well all together. Like hopping off your pal and engaging in battle with your pal, and then doing these sick dodge rolls and doing all these parkour moves, and then bashing them with your club or shooting them with your gun. It gives that sense of a good battle. It's like very like tug back and forth when you're fighting a really strong pal. You have to dodge his attacks. You don't want to get frozen. It kind of sometimes feels like a Dark Souls fight where like there's time dodges. You gotta sometimes really think about the fight. One of the things I also really like about the game is it's kind of like weirdness. There's some like funny stuff in the game. Like there's a Pokemon, a pal, called Toko Toko, where it's a little bird that you can pick up and literally make it shit out eggs like a grenade launcher, and you can use it like a grenade launcher. There's just some funny things in the game that, make you giggle a little bit, make you laugh. It's kind of outrageous, but it adds to the enjoyment to the game. It's just a little spice of like these funny comedy moments that can arise from like weird things that are in the game. I gotta say, like, what also makes the game feel good is kind of like this psychological effect on the brain. Like, it's taking a book out of like Fortnite, where like the colors and sounds just kind of hit these parts of your brain. Like, damn, that sounds good. Like when you hit a Pokemon or a pal with like a pal sphere, and it just like the little sound, and it goes doo 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 doo. Like it just feels good to hear it. It like it tingles that part of your brain, like simple monkey brain. Like, oh, good sound. Oh, nice color. Oh, monkey like. Like literally, like just sit back and just let your brain take it in. Like I know some people might want to look for something deeper, but like it really is just as simple as like it's a psychological thing to like these vibrant colors, to like these sounds. They like, they have people to do like studies on these things. So it is very satisfying to capture pals in the beginning of the game. Even later in the game, it's even more fun than later in the game. Like you can ride on your freaking jet and just have like the strongest sphere and just go up to like a dozen pals, just go bah, 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 like freaking throwing sphere after sphere, like 100%, 100%, 100%, and you just capture like 12 pals in a row. You're literally a god. Like you can just like do whatever you want. Like these pals are your like slaves essentially. It feels good no matter what part of the game, beginning to end, to capture pals, to hit pals. The way they programmed all these little things to hit those like psychological things in your brain, to hit those dopamine switches, it just feels good, like simply feels good. So now I want to touch on some little bits of the game, like its music, the open world, and the building mechanics, and just all around the other little things that the game has to offer. I would say that the music is okay. It's not bad. It is serviceable. I couldn't care less about the music. It's not that good, not that bad. It's kind of fun though. It does add to the moments of battle here and there. It is a little bugged where sometimes you might hear the music when nothing's going on. Um, it's fine, serviceable. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. So I want to talk a little bit about the open world now. I think it's pretty dope. The open world takes a lot of aspects from other games, like in Breath of the Wild. They have different biomes with different weather effects. So one area is too hot, you have to put on heat-resistant armor. Uh, it also adds in these little like green things, little chipmunk things that glow and like little effigies or whatever. You collect them, and it's a little collectathon you can do, and they're spread around the whole world to increase your capture power. So it feels good to capture or to collect these things. They have a shit ton of world bosses, like a whole bunch. Like in almost every nook and cranny in this world, there's world bosses. Sometimes though, what I don't like is those freaking caves. So there's different types of world bosses. There's these like Elden Ring, Everjail type of things where you just teleport to a little boss room and you fight it. That's fine. There's actual open world bosses where they're just out and about. And then there's these freaking caves. Like these caves are horrible. It's like almost impossible sometimes to find the opening to the cave. And then when you get in there, like the PAL just glitches and sometimes gets stuck and you can't even capture it. It's a pain in the ass. I don't like the caves. Just get rid of them. If the caves weren't in the game, I wouldn't even notice. Like, just put them in Everjails, put them out in the world. Like, I don't like the caves, so I'll, say dock it a little bit the points for that. But other than that, the world is pretty like full of stuff. The reason why is because it's full of pals. There's like you travel just a little bit, you'll find a pal. The best thing is when you're starting off in the game and you're first exploring, you're finding these new lands, these new biomes, you're finding new pals. You're just like, whoa, what the hell is that? Whoa, what the hell? Like a Relaxosaurus? What the fuck? Like that feeling of exploration and finding something new is really like tied well into this game. So like it feels good to explore because you want to find new pals, right? Like I said, the gameplay loop, you explore, find new pals, and sometimes when you find these new pals, like they're sick. Like you get introduced to some of the coolest pals as you explore, right? And you want to find all the pals because it helps you in your base. It helps you get stronger. So that feeling of just walking to a biome, it's a whole new world. It's like traveling, going from the starting area to like a whole new biome, and the biomes can differ very slightly, very slightly. In one area, it's just like forests and stuff, but now this area is like a fall area. It has like yellow, red trees instead. It has like like red on the ground, and it has like different pals, like all these different pals. It has like different terrain, and now like you go into this another area, it's like filled with like a field of flowers. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful to look at the field of flowers. It's like filled with the field of flowers, and there's like a lot of these grass pals there, like flowery pals, and it just matches the theme of the biome. And the little differences in the biome make it like fun to go and see these places. They look a little bit different. Not everything looks the same. Not everything just becomes like a blur of like homogeneous like forests or trees, and it doesn't stretch out for too long where you get sick of it. Like as you keep exploring, you're gonna find that new biome pretty quickly. So I would have to give the open world a solid 9 out of 10. The base building in the game is, again, just like the music, I think it's good enough. It is serviceable. There's enough furniture in the game to kind of like spruce things up, make things look different. But I do have to say that there's not enough variation, like the different walls or the different style of like actual building in the game. Because there's only walls, windows, like ramps, and like that's about it. If they added maybe something, spruce it up a little bit with different types of walls, other than like wood, stone, metal, and add in, just a little bit more spice there. But the amount of furniture that you have, I think, gives it just enough spice to make it, fun and interesting to kind of build your own unique home, or in some cases, like I built a restaurant. So overall, I think the base building, decent enough, not the best, not the worst. Like, again, it's like serviceable 7 out of 10. So some things that I really didn't like. Let's talk about some things I really didn't like. Taking care of your pals can be a pain in the ass. It can be such a pain. They get injured, they get fractured. Like I said, they get depression. They get depression from glitches though. It's not even your fault. You try your best to make them happy with like spas and shit, and they still get depression. Like what? What? Sometimes these things are like a chore. You gotta go out, put the iron in, make sure that your pals are healthy, and now you gotta grind more iron. Like, oh my god, iron bogs the game down. If they just made the requirement for some items less iron, less grindy to get resources, the game will be much better. And like, I would have to say though, you could change the settings in your world set. Like, so there's these world settings. You can go into the world settings, pump up the amount of resources dropped, like all this other stuff. So play the game you want to play it. Like, play it your own style. If you don't like grindy games, you can make it not as grindy. You can set the sliders so that you level up super quick. You get instant gratification from eggs. You can basically cheat the game by joining a server that already has everything. So yeah, for anybody who doesn't like these survival games, there's ways to play it for you too. Like, that's the biggest thing, is that they give you these world configurations that you can change to make it better to suit what you want, to make it less grindy. I would have to say that the biggest thing putting this game down right now is definitely the glitches. The pathing of the pals is really bad. Glitching into walls and stuff, it sometimes ruins the experience. I especially hate that glitch where, yeah, they all get stuck on the PAL box and they don't eat, they don't do anything, they're stuck all day, and because they're not eating or going to the spa, they get depression, and then all your pals get depression. It's just so annoying to take care of. At least they are saying that they are trying their best to fix all these glitches. So I'll give it to Pocket Pair for at least communicating and trying to address all these glitches. Overall, the game is worth your time. If you're a survival game fan, 100%. For non-fans of survival games, I say give it a shot. Play with the world settings to, lessen the grind a little bit. Enjoy the little things in the game, because that's what, makes the grind fun, is the little tiny moments in the game of capturing, fighting pals, exploration, seeing new shit, finding new pals. Like, enjoy those little things, because those little things, they slowly build up and they become more and more rewarding as you become stronger and stronger until you're a super god. So give it a chance if you're not a fan of survival games. I think there's a little bit to enjoy here for any type of gamer, if it comes to like people who like fighting bosses, people who like shooting guns, people who just have monkey brain and just enjoy bright lights and nice sounds. Like, yeah, I think there's a little bit of something here for everybody. Like, to be a little bit cliche. So I give the game a solid 8.5 out of 10 in total. If it wasn't for all the bugs and sometimes the game being kind of excessively grindy, I'd give the game like a 9 out of 10. Mostly because I think the game achieves a perfect gameplay loop that gives you a dopamine hit each step of the way. I think it well deserves an 8.5 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys understand why the game was good, why I enjoyed the game, and why it's worth your time. Thanks for watching. Peace.